What is up, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome to a brand new DDD post Pendulum Domination test hand video. So the last video I uploaded, I think, was the last deck profile that I did for DDD was the first deck profile that I did post Pendulum Domination. That video got a lot of great feedback, so I really do appreciate that. Did really well, and I only have you guys to thank for that. And there were some criticisms, which I can understand. A lot of people were questioning the build that I was playing, which was like a little bit different than the normal build that a lot of people were expecting to see, which is why I can understand there was a lot of people who were questioning, like, oh, why I wasn't playing Thomas, why I wasn't playing this guy, why I wasn't playing X card or Y card, or why I was playing Zephyros and Armageddon Knight and Farfa. The only reason I was on to play those type of cards is because I wanted the build to be a little bit different, a little more innovative, be able to do different plays than the plays that were already going to be expected. I really did like the Beatrice and Nightmare play, but since then I have cut those cards. And the build you see here is completely different than the build that is on my channel, post Pendulum Domination. There will be an emergency update video for this deck profile, for this deck, coming soon in a deck profile very soon. And I think, have one dual video of this playing so far, I think. And I have some other cool dual videos coming for you guys as well. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to do some test hands with the new build. Go ahead and fan through it real quick. Maybe spot some differences. But yeah. This is a first test hand video of probably many with this deck. And it is also a bunch of going first test hands. So that is what we'll be doing. No going second test hands. Figure it's not going to be worth it to do going second test hands, since the plays don't really change that much. I mean, the first turn board that you make, in most cases, will usually be enough to put enough damage on going second, or at least try to put a good amount of pressure on. I have a little bit of a story to tell before we go ahead and get started. I went to locals last night, and you know, my locals, the one that I go to every week, and the opponent I was playing Blue Eyes. He took a maxi challenge, let me draw 12 cards, went first turn, number 38, Cyber Dragon Infinity, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, Dark Matter Dragon, and Blue Eyes, and I was able to out that field with Kali Yuga, Omega, Crystal Wing, Hexblood, 38, and ended up, or not 38, I made Kali Yuga. I had to make Kali Yuga in order to be able to beat over his 38, which was the big issue. And then from there on out, Dark Contract with the Witch was a huge clutch card at that point. But the deck definitely has the ability to break boards. Obviously, you know, I had a ton of extra card advantage, but my hand, you know, going second in the first place was already good enough, and obviously the extra cards added to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle up here a little bit. I'm not gonna cut it. I'm just gonna do a quick shuffle. I've been doing test hands before this video, maybe for like a half hour to an hour, just watching some streams, just chilling, doing test hands. So we're gonna keep going with this trend and keep playing like I've been playing. I've been doing some really good combos, really good boards, decent hands, not too many brick hands. And we'll see how it goes. Got a new play mat. Shout out to my boy Nate, hooking me up with a mat last night. Bloodborne play mat, looking amazing. So let's see what we get here in our first test hand. Alright, so that's actually really good. Anytime you open, the one thing I've realized is, like, anytime you open this, and a way to get a Swirl Slime, just this, Swirl Slime, and Ragnarok together is an absolutely busted combo. That's how you end with Crystal Wing Hexblood 38 every time, hands down, not even a question. So we go Dark Contract. Probably gonna go grab Swirl Slime. Obviously, we need to get a fusion play going. And that's one thing I hope a lot of people understand, is that if you're playing against this deck and you side D-Barrier, or choosing not to side D-Barrier because you think it's a waste of time, because there's so many different ways you can summon, not necessarily a good idea, because usually every DDD play is started with a fusion play, just like that. So we're going to put Swirl Slime and Necro Slime in the graveyard, and we're going to go for, of course, Genghis. I usually start every single play with Genghis. I think it's mandatory and well-known fact that every combo usually starts with a Genghis in some way, shape, or form. And then we're going to use our Swirl Slime here to summon out our Lamia. We've got this in hand, and I would like to use it. You know, we still technically could, because we still can normal summon here, which will be really helpful. Yeah, that's right. We didn't even need to normal summon because we already we opened up the Dark Contract instead of having to you know, search it with Kepler. So actually, I'm gonna go take a step back because I totally forgot about that. I do want to definitely fusion first. We'll go Copernicus, and then from here, I probably would send. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much at this point. Like, we already have a majority of what we want in the graveyard per se. I'm probably just gonna send Ragnarok because we might be able to bring him out later. You know, I was kind of worried about not having a target to send Lamia to the graveyard with to summon it that one last time, but we do have a contract on the field that we can get rid of. So I'm still gonna do this and still do this. We have the option at this point to use Flame King Genghis' effect, which is to, of course, revive a DD from grave when a DD is specialed on the field. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna revive the Necro Slime, and then I'm gonna synchro into. Of course, we get a synchro into an Alexander. But if we had a Ragnarok in hand, I definitely would have searched, or would have summoned a Meteor Burst instead. So we did Formula. We'll draw a Formula. Go into a Kepler. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Kind of makes me wish I would have sent a Thomas instead. But I guess it doesn't really matter too much. What is done is done. I'm going to Synchro again into a 6. This is the one reason why I love playing a level 6 Synchro. I don't know if I was playing this guy in the past build. Get another draw. Draw into a Ragnarok. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. So from here, I definitely want to fusion again. I'm gonna do this and this Ragnarok, and we will summon our. I'm gonna go for a Diarch. And we actually have we have this. So what I'm gonna do is play this first, summon this, and then activate this effect to summon the Lamia. Don't want to forget about that. That is a prime mistake that a lot of people can make, and I even do it too. As I'm getting used to the deck, and I've gotten a lot better with the combos, trying to recognize them. It's just a little bit harder to do on a video and keep commentary. I'm gonna use Acquisitiveness now to put back these 3. And draw into an extra card before we go any further. Here's an interesting thing we can do. So now at this point, we could actually go into a with this and this, go into a Ade's Meteor Burst, revive that, and bring that out, which would revive Genghis back again. That's definitely a viable option. Draw a card here. I'm just gonna. I hope you guys like the view. It's more of a top-down view overhead. Drawing a Foolish Burial. Ooh, that is a top deck. That is a top deck if I ever seen one. I'm going to send Glow Up Bulb. New addition to the deck, playing Glow Up Bulb. I absolutely love Glow Up Bulb in this deck. You're like, oh, you don't need Glow Up Bulb. Well, I think having the ability to have an extra revivable tuner is amazing. So that's just my personal opinion. I really do like having Glow Up Bulb in the main. We've got this Kepler in hand too, which is just chilling at the moment. So at this point, I'm definitely going to Synchro again into probably Ade's Meteor Burst. Yeah, and then Meteor Burst will activate. It'll give us that. It'll give us one too many actually, because this has to be activated on summon. So I think we're gonna actually wait on that, because I think if we hold off on doing that play, it'll benefit us down the road. Let's do that. And the one thing I've also learned is about the timing of when you use certain effects. So just because you can use, like, let's say Genghis's effect or Ragnarok's effect at a certain time doesn't mean you necessarily should, because it might be better to wait later on when you can actually make a better play, and like, I don't know how to explain it, but like make a better play that would suit, like, to bring something else back from the graveyard, so you don't have to, like, the thing is, like, you don't want to use this thing's effect to summon it until you absolutely have to. So we're gonna summon Siegfried now by using Glow Up Bulb, and we'll mill a Dark Contract with the Swamp King. Then we'll Synchro, and what this is gonna allow us to do is go to use Alexander's effect, which will allow us to revive Lamia one more time, and then we will Synchro with that. And what's going to be cool is we're going to be able to use Lamia on this to bring back this at the very end, so we get our Crystal Wing here, and that's going to be really cool actually to have this play go off. And then we're going to use this. We'll send the Kepler so we can keep our contract. We'll Synchro. This is going to get banished. We'll go into Odd Eye's Meteor Burst Dragon just like that. We'll use his effect to revive, of course, him out of the Pendulum Scale. And then from there, we have tons of options to summon from grave, which is amazing. If we had another Lamia in grave, we could have made 2 Crystal Wings. Jesus Christ, could you think about that? 2 Crystal Wings? That would be absolutely insane. I was actually thinking about playing a second one because it's not that hard to get it out, obviously, as you can see. I think what I would probably bring back is as a Diarch. It'd be cool if I had another, if I had the Swamp King. If I had this card literally is like the cherry on top to most of your plays. If you can bring out anything like that at the very end, allow us to go into Beowulf to make a number 38, which of course obviously we don't have the access to, but I'm going to summon Diarch just because it'll help us stop taking burn damage next turn, assuming our opponent doesn't get rid of them. So yeah, that's a pretty good first turn board, if I do say so myself. Lamia banished, loaded graveyard, and next turn we're drawing a Where Art Thou. I'm playing a 1-of Where Art Thou. I really do like the 1-of Where Art Thou. I don't want to play 2 because, like, you don't always need it. It's just like an extra 1-for-1, or it's an extra Lamia, Glow Up Bulb, Kepler. I really like it just as a 1-of for now. I dropped my Lamia and floor almost. So yeah, that's our first turn board. Our first test hand, pretty decent. Could have probably been a little bit different, depending on what other resources we would have had in our hand. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and reorganize here, and we'll be back for another going first test hand. All right, we're back. Another test hand going first. Split the deck, and let's draw 5 cards. Let's see what happens. Solemn Warning, Doom King Armageddon, Lamia, Gate, and Foolish Burial. I can already tell that this hand is not going to be too extravagant as the last one. I'm playing a 1-of copy of this because I was playing 2 Thomas, but I just cut 1 Thomas for this because this card is actually low-key really, really good. It cannot be destroyed by smaller traps that do not target, or that target. So, like, this card can only be destroyed by spell traps that do not target. So Dark Hole can't kill it, Raigeki can't kill it. So a lot of the big board wipes that come out to try to stop your first turn field, this guy can't be killed by it. And he's also got a 3000 attack body, and he's also a level 8 too. That's why I really do like this card. Playing him as a 1-of though, I don't know. Let's go Contract. I kind of want to add Copernicus because I don't know if adding Lamia would be too helpful. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to add Swirl Slime though. And then we'll Foolish Burial a Necro Slime. We might actually be able to make a decent play here, despite what I'm saying. Ignore me. Ignore everything that I'm saying, because we might be able to make a somewhat decent play and not have a mediocre board. You know, that's always the goal. Let's go ahead and use Swirl Slime and Lamia to go for none other than your boy. And then we'll use Swirl Slime to summon Doom King. And then that'll trigger this, which will summon that. And then we'll Synchro. You all know the drill. Yada, yada, yada. For the Gust King himself. And then we'll use these two to go for... That's another reason why I do like this guy is, like, he does come out as a 3000 beat stick, which is, you know, you're like, oh, it's just a beat stick, you know, it doesn't do too much, but it can be pretty helpful. We're going to revive that off the summon of Gust King. Synchro again. And this also could have been a D-Arc, a Dark, whatever you want to call it. And we could have made Hexblood with this on the board. That's also another option because we still haven't even used our other Lamia effect. And we do have Solemn Warning in hand. So, like, it all depends on, like, what we're playing against, what would be the better play. We could go into, of course, Kali Yuga. We could go into number 38, or we could have left him on the board and instead of synchroed into a Hexblood, which, if I'm playing against Paleozoics, I'm probably going to make a Kali Yuga. If I'm playing against Metal Foes, Kali Yuga, 38, or Hexblood, they're all good against the deck. I'd probably make Kali Yuga though, because, you know, it blows up the scales, keeps them from setting their back row. The mirror match, I'd probably go Hexblood or 38. I don't think Kali Yuga's too great in the mirror match. But yeah, it literally doesn't really matter too much. We'll just go into a 38 for shits and giggles, like that, and we'll set Warning. Crystal Wing and number 38, not looking too bad with the set Solemn Warning, drawing a Kepler per turn, and searching whatever the hell we want with a Lamia, still usable in Graveyard, that we can use to make a formula or something, and then draw more cards. So yeah, a pretty quick one there. We'll go ahead and do a couple more, and hopefully we can get some good, consistent test hands going to prove that this is a good and consistent build, which may be the actual greatest build on YouTube. I kind of let you guys down on the last one. A lot of people were in disagreement with the build, and I'm back with a vengeance. I've been saying on Twitter that I'm going to be doing play testing, test hands in the mirror match, grinding every day with this deck whenever I can, learning the combos, the ins and outs, until I literally am the DD master. So hopefully I can live up to that standard this time around. So we'll go ahead and shuffle it up. I'm gonna do a quick pile shuffle, and then we'll be back for another test hand. All right, we are back. Another going first test hand. Let's see what we got. We'll open the Doom King Armageddon again. DD Savant Kepler, Dark Contract with a Gate, Swirl Slime, and a Swamp King. Interesting. Very interesting, to say the least, actually. Let's contract it up, and yeah. I was gonna say, we can use this to normal summon to search Swamp King, but we drew into the Swamp King. Let's add Necro Slime, shall we? Because at least give us a chance to fusion twice. Or we could add Lamia and pull off like a similar turn to what we did last time. Because we don't really need Swamp King, or not, we don't really need Necro Slime if we have Swamp King in hand. It'll act as sort of a makeshift Necro Slime, if you will. And then we'll normal Kepler. Actually, because we could normal Kepler to search Contract with a Witch, which would be helpful going first. To have this usable Raigeki break and give all our fiends 1000 attack. Or we could leave this in hand to fusion with a Swirl Slime, and then normal summon the Lamia and use that as many times as possible. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, just to to see what happens. You know, let's see what happens. Full fusion for none other than, where is he? My extra deck's getting all unorganized. So now we have the option to, of course, normal summon this and revive this from, or not revive it, summon this from hand using the Swirl Slime. So both these cards in our hand are active to use, which is nice. So we got DD Swirl Slime. We can use our Swirl Slime to summon out Doom King, and then Doom King revive Kepler. Kepler could get us a search, the search that we want. And then we could use Lamia to make a level 2 Synchro if we wanted to. I don't really know about that though. At least not at the moment. Because Gale is going to come out. I want to be able to use this to revive. At least revive something of importance. Because we could make a Trish right now. But we would have to use Swamp King to do that. Because we would need to get Doom King and Armageddon out of our hand, or not. We need to get Doom King and Kepler out of grave because we need to keep Swirl Slime in grave to revive. Let's say we summon a. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. I think that'd be decent. Let's do that. We'll send this to the graveyard. Banish Kepler. We'll summon D'Arc. I love D'Arc. I might play 2 D'Arc. I don't know. Or the other fusion guy, the really big dude. Summon this with Genghis. Normal summon Lamia. Then we'll go into the Trish play. By the way, it's a lot easier to do the Trish play if you just open these 2 cards in a contract, which I guess we did, but there's like a different way to do the Trish play, which I am probably gonna do a combo video, but it's gonna be a good combo video. I want it to be good. I want to make like good combos, not just like, oh, you can make whatever this way or whatever this way. I want it to be a decent combo video, as you'd probably expect. So we used contract. Now we can use Lamia, revive that, send that to the graveyard, and Synchro for a Hexblood or Omega. Doesn't matter. Go for the Hexblood though. Hexblood Trish, not too bad. Probably could add a Necro Slime in there somewhere. I don't know. Decent. Drawing a lure, getting a lure target to search, drawing 2. Not too bad. Next turn would have definitely been pretty nice. They're starting with 1 less card, and we get a free spell and trap negation. So yeah, it's pretty nice. And one thing I love about Siegfried is to be able to turn off Vanity's Emptiness on your turn. Absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. I've done that so many times to people. Such an amazing lock. So yeah, let's go ahead and do another test hand here. Alright, we are back. Another test hand. Let's see how this one turns out. I swear I'm like opening up the same hands over and over again. This one though, not looking too great. Allure of Darkness. Please help me. Okay. Not the best, still not the best. Definitely not the best. Let's fusion. Let's do a little bit of this. Huh. This is like a not great hand. I mean, I could have fusioned with the Ragnarok, or I could have just done this. Actually, yeah, I would have needed to place this first, obviously, then obviously get the trigger effect here. So yeah, this will allow us to summon, and then it'll get us these 2. Okay, no, that's not too horrible. And then we make Trish. We could Synchro for Alexander. Alexander hits the board. And then we could summon. The thing is, though, when you summon Alexander, like, it'd be nice if we didn't have to use this. But I guess arguably we didn't have to. We don't need to use our Genghis, I guess. We do not need to use the Genghis. Because like, we could just make a Trish play again, but I want to try and do something a little bit more better than just a Trish play. So let's do this. Because I don't think there was no way to use just Genghis to get the Lamia back on the field. We could have used Swamp King, but we had to banish important stuff for it. So let's synchro into Gale Alexander. Or we could actually use Ragnarok if we bring out Meteor Burst, and then we could use this to fusion into another Genghis and use that Genghis. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. Do that. Don't want to play this just yet, although it doesn't really matter. Fusion. Use these two. And then we'll go into this. This will activate. We'll synchro into Crystal Wing. And then we'll send this. And then we'll do this. And go into Hexblood. And set this. Okay. You know, these two guys come up so much. Like, this is like a common first turn board. With a set warning. Pretty nice. Yeah, we could have made Trish that turn as well. I was trying to think of a way to get Meteor Burst on board to revive this, revive Genghis, and, you know, go from there, but didn't really need to, I guess. We could have also... Yeah, there was probably a couple different ways we could do that. Like, I'm kind of, like, really self-conscious about how I do these plays, because there probably is other ways that I could do these plays, but I guess it's up for you guys to tell me if there were certain ways I could have played other stuff out, and I guess that's why we do these videos, which is nice. Helps me learn, helps you guys learn. I'll get some practice and do some test hands along with me. Maybe pause the video, see what cards I got in my hand, play it out for yourself, and then watch me play it out. That's an interactive way to do it, I guess. So we'll go ahead and shuffle up. We'll do one more test hand, and hopefully this one's different. Hopefully this one's a little different. Solemn Warning, Dark Conjure the Gate, Vanity's Emptiness, Swirl Slime, Lamia. This is gonna be a good hand. Like, this is just, like, we just need really, I mean, these two cards, these cards. It's already gonna be a good hand, folks. It's already gonna be a good hand. Whether or not it'll be too much different. Like, I've been opening, like, the same cards over and over again, and I've been, like, pile shuffling in between every single test hand. I don't know what the hell the deal is here. Fusion for Genghis. Gonna become, like, robotic here. Boom. Boom. Let's revive. Let's do that. Boom. Nice, 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 nice. Nice, 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 nice. Necro, 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 necro. Boom. Nope. Nope, I do not want to do that. So let's take a step back for a second. Put this back. Put this back. Put this back. Not use Genghis' effect. Synchro into Gust King. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I usually... Like, if we had more stuff in our hand to work with, like, the one thing that I changed about my build was adding a lot more DDD monsters to the build, because I wanted to, like, see more monsters in hand. So if, like, we had more monsters in our hand to work with, like, these plays would turn out a little bit more different. But it is what it is. We'll fusion this time, like this, and go for your boy. Get revived. Synchro it up for Crystal Wing, and then we will revive Lamia, send this, synchro again for Hexblood, and then we could activate this. We could banish Gust King and this for a Beowulf, just to put extra pressure on if we wanted to. But not necessarily needed. Set these two. Warning and Vanities. Drawing a Swirl Slime next turn. I think that's GG right there. unless they have Twin Twister, which I obviously would negate, because I definitely want to protect these back row. Another monster effect negate, summon negate, anything else, stop it with this, and then shut this off during my turn, and play Yu-Gi-Oh! While they can. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to do one more. We're going to do one more. Alright. Official last test stand. If it's a brick, I don't care. If it's whatever, I don't care. Let's see. Thomas. Swirl Slime. Upstart. Foolish Burial. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to burn the Upstart immediately. Into a Ragnarok. What's Foolish Burial? I mean, why not? Why not? I'm playing a 1 of Radiant, by the way. Decent card. I don't know. Like, I was playing a 1 of Puppet Master. I put Puppet Master back in because Puppet Master can create stupid plays if you use it right, but I figured I'll add the 1 of Radiant just in case I lose the dice roll. And it's the alert target, obviously. So Lamia's Engrave. That's good. That's good to have. We'll fusion. I definitely want to fusion with these, though, because I want... If Thomas can get on board, I can place this in the scale and obviously go from there. Which I am going to do that right now, actually. And then fusion. Like so, this is gone. Make sure you guys can see the graveyard. Fusion. Activate effect. Summon. Activate effect. Summon. Not this. Definitely don't want to summon that. Almost made a big old mistake right there. Thomas Pop. We'll grab another right. Look at that right there. He's on the bottom of the deck. How convenient. Not gonna make Kaliuga. Not gonna make Kaliuga. Because I have plays to make. Afterwards. Synchro again. Into none other than... I absolutely love this card so much. It is so good. We'll use this. We'll synchro into... Or not synchro. Fusion to the Oracle King. Revive this. Make Crystal Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have solved in the last test hand the legendary play. The 38 Crystal Wing. Hex Blood. First turn play. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. Just like that. What a perfect way to end this video. You gotta leave a like. More of these test stand videos will be coming in the future. The DDD King is here. I'm not gonna call myself that, but working towards that title. As obviously the ultimate goal. So I'm gonna end this one here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna be doing more, like I said. If you played the test stands out with me, let me know if your plays were different than mine, or if I helped you out, or if you got any suggestions. Emergency deck profile update is in the wake. It's in the making, so yeah. Be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for new duel videos, and etc. etc. So always, guys, I'm gonna kill signing out. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.